Hey, what's up you guys, it's your boy Drew here back again with another video for all you American soccer fans out there. And in this video, we're going to talk about something that's been brought up a lot in my last two videos that I posted especially. And it's very also maybe a controversial topic as well. Very polar. Actually, I don't think it's really that polarizing. I think a lot of people are on the same page. And that topic is the MLS salary cap. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys my opinion. I'm going to explain it briefly because it's a very complicated thing to understand, especially if you're not really well versed in MLS or maybe even just American sports in general. So it's very confusing. So I'm only going to briefly touch on how I explain it. But mostly I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the whole situation, and of course, I'd want to know your thoughts down below at the end of the video, so let's get to it. But of course, before we get started, as always, if you guys love soccer and you want to see it get the growth and respect it deserves in this country, and you want to be part of that growth, then subscribe down below and be part of the change. Okay, I'm ready to explain the salary cap now. It's giving me a headache. It's so complicated. I barely understand it. So I'm going to give you guys my little in a nutshell of what I know it is. It goes more into depth, but if you guys want a more in-depth video on the MLS salary cap, Tifo Football YouTube channel made a video explaining the MLS salary. Now that salary was based in the 2017 season, so the salary is not as much as it is now, but still the whole gist of it is still kind of the same, and he goes really in depth to it, more in depth than I would ever have gone. So I will link that video down in the description down below, and you guys can go and check that out, and then maybe come back or watch this and go there. Either way, support both channels. Okay, the MLS salary cap, basically in a nutshell, each team gets a certain amount of money to use for their players from numbers 1 through 20. Now they can have 30 players in their team, but numbers 1 through 20 players are the players that are going to be counted for this salary cap budget. But the only thing that's a little different is if teams have a DP, which is a designated player rule, which was established into the MLS around 2007 because of David Beckham. Now, he was making bank. So when he came to the league, he was making a lot more money than a regular MLS player was. And that's when they made a designated player rule so that players who are brought in or made into a DP, they get a substantial amount more money than the regular roster player. Did that make sense to you guys? Because it made sense in my head. I want to make sure you guys understand it. Basically, a team is only allowed to spend a certain amount of money. They get capped in the amount of money they're able to spend on player salaries. Unless there's a DP, then those DP players get more money than a regular non-DP player. Boom. That's the easiest way I can explain it. So where does the controversy and the hate for the salary cap come in? Well, if you guys look at other leagues around the world, literally any league ever in this world except for your boys in the MLS, they don't have a salary cap. They're able to spend as much money as they want. They're able to spend and pay their players as much as they want. And it doesn't matter if they're they don't have DPs in other leagues, just we do. So let's take, for example, the Liga MX. Liga MX does not have a salary cap, so they are able to pay their players as much money as they feel they need to. So if they have a big name player like Andre Pierre Gignac, he's probably making a lot more money than some regular MLS players in the league, and he's probably going to make more money the more he performs well, and so on and so forth. So the club will be like, hey, this guy's doing really good. Let's pay him more. Let's get him a new contract, pay more money in that contract, the end. But for MLS players, it doesn't work like that. If you want more money, you got to hope you get popular, you are a really great player, you score a lot of goals, assists, make a lot of saves as a goalkeeper. So then you're able to be selected as the next DP in the next season or whatever, or fill one of those DP slots. But you gotta hope that MLS gets rid of one of their DP slots in that team, so you're able to get it. So see, it's just so confusing. Why do we need the salary cap? Why do we need it? I don't know. It's basically a salary cap is made just to regulate the league and make it more fair to everybody who's getting paid. Well, you know what's not fair? I'll get into it in a second. You know what? Let's get into it right now. Here's my biggest thing about the salary cap, and basically maybe designated player rule as well. Let's take a look at this. Let me bring up my screen. Hold on 1 second. You guys can't see this, but I can see this. See, I'm not really good at editing, so I can't put my screen on your screen. So here we go. DC United. Let's look at their designated players. They've only got 2 right now, as of 2019. So Wayne Rooney is obviously their designated player, and he obviously is not going to be salary capped as a regular MLS player, so he's getting the salary cap as a DP. So right now he's making $2.8 million a year. Boom, good for you, Wayne Rooney. But if you look at the DC United's other designated player, that is Paul Arriola, and guess how much he's making? Not millions. he's making 664,000 a year. So that's a way big difference. First of all, Ariela's not even breaking $1 million. Gotta take a breath. So what really irks me and bothers me is that players who are bred in MLS, American players who are grown here, growing their game here in MLS, trying to help the league grow. Players like Paul Arriola, players like Chris Wondolowski, he only makes $800K. I mean, at least if you want to really I know the European players and all the players you bring in from other leagues who are big name players, they give you a lot of shirt sales, they give you a lot of revenue, they give you a lot of names for your team, talk, all that talk and shit. But I just don't think it's fair that players who are really raised here and trying to help the league grow here, and players who are loyal to the league, like Matt Beasler and stuff like that, they won't be making the same kind of bank that players like Zlatan, Alessandrini, Jonathan Dos Santos, Wayne Rooney, players like that won't be making that kind of salary. And that kind of irks me, that bothers me. You know what? This is kind of why our players are, I don't even know. It just, I mean, it makes sense, right? That's not fair that players like Chris Wondolowski is going to be the top goal scorer of all time in MLS this season. I can guarantee that. And he's not going to be making the same kind of bank as Wayne Rooney and Zlatan. Why? Because he never went to Europe and made a big name of himself? Lame. That's not cool. Now let's look at it this way. If the MLS gets rid of the salary cap, will that help us be able to get more players into the MLS, more high-name players, because we'll be able to pay them more instead of a big pay cut that they'd be receiving from their other league when they come here? Yeah, in my last two videos, I've seen a lot of people mention that we need to cut the salary cap because that way our league can grow, we can get more competitive, get more players here, pay them the money that they deserve, and if they get paid more, they'll be trying harder for the league and the team and the national team in general. Is that true? I think it's yeah, it is true. I am in favor of getting rid of the salary cap, or if the MLS wants to be dumb and keep it, at least raise that shit. I'm sure the MLS is making a lot more money than we think they are. Now, obviously, they're not getting the kind of money that NFL or NBA or even MLB, which, by the way, MLB now has a salary cap since of 2019, I believe. So, and from what I've read, that's not going over so well. But MLS is not making that kind of bank, but I'm sure they're making some sort of money that they'll be able to raise the salary cap for every team in the league. Or just, how about, here's what, get rid of it in general. Why do we gotta keep making MLS stand out on its own? We gotta keep making MLS stray away from everything that's regular about a regular soccer league. I know, let's not get into that because that's a big topic. Sticking to the salary cap, yeah, I'm in favor of getting rid of that shit. Please, MLS, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you're not, Don Garber, because I don't give a fuck about you. Get rid of the salary cap. I think and if you want to keep the salary cap, at least raise the money for it, give more money for teams so they can play their players more, maybe get some more DP spots as well. And for American MLS bred players who are DPs, increase their freaking salaries. That's not cool. That's all I really gotta say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys leave your comments down below whether or not you guys are in favor or hate the salary cap, because I'd love to read your comments. I'm in the process of replying to you guys as we speak in my other videos, because there's a lot of comments to respond, a lot of long comments, and I love those long comments because when I'm at break at work, I get to read that shit and it's really cool. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Have a nice chat. Leave a thumbs up. Helps your boys Drew channel out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet. And as always, thank you so much for kicking it with me. I'll see you later.